one of the reasons I go to supervision is for personal development, and another is to really help me be the best coach I can be with my clients, and that, you know, be very ethical in the way that I work, and work in the best way possible. I remember after the first session, I think the term we used was something like, I felt like I'd had my drains cleared out. I know that sounds horrible probably, but it was such a sense of, this was just a conversation, this wasn't even a supervision session, such a sense of comfort and of lightness afterwards, and of, I really connected with Alison. It felt very safe, and yeah, I just felt like I could say anything to her. I keep coming back to Alison for a number of reasons. One, I think because she's so experienced. She brings so much through just her own experience and some of the things that she's doing. And also, she pushes the boundaries. You know, she's always developing, and that really encourages me to continue to develop. Although I'm quite, you know, I do focus a lot on my own development anyway. But it's also a lot about the environment we create. It is very safe, it's very supportive, but at the same time very challenging. And that, to create that combination, I think, is a real skill. I decided to join Alison in group supervision because I was doing so much more group work. And my sense of it was, you know, it would be really valuable for me to be experiencing what the group are experiencing, the group that I'm working with might be experiencing. And so, you know, that was one of the main reasons. And I think it's so you know, in group supervision, what we're doing is we're looking at we're paying attention to our own issues that we're bringing. We're paying attention to the dynamics that we're creating as a group. We're paying attention to what the others are bringing into that session in exactly the same way as I would be working with the groups that I work with. So there's almost it's not a parallel process, but it's a mirroring of the work, which I think is really helpful for me. I haven't done a lot of group supervision, but the supervision that I have done with Alison has been by far the best. And again, it has come down to the environment that we have managed to create as a group. The location session that I've been on was actually in Kew Gardens, and it was a session that I chose the location and shared it with the rest of the group. And I was thinking this would be great. There was a lovely analogy between growth. You know, we're going to potentially go into a space where there's so many things growing. And that's what we're doing when we're in supervision. And that's the work that we do. We're working with individuals to help them grow. But there's something about the stimulus of the plants. So, you know, I would be walking along, talking with a colleague about a case or about something that they wanted to discuss or I wanted to discuss. And then we might pause, we might stop, and we might both see something. And just by seeing a plant or a flower or a colour, that provoked another question. It provoked a different view. And we might actually change the conversation and talk about the plant and talk about the colour or talk about something and then come back into the conversation. But there was something about that seemed to be quite provocative, but in a very gentle way. What I noticed being there, and as we were reflecting on what it was like to be there, there was just I just had a whole different level of energy that I noticed about myself. And what that got me asking myself was, well, what would happen if I were to suggest to a client we go and do coaching somewhere other than their office or in the four walls of, you know, the building that they work in. I wouldn't operate as a coach or a team coach without supervision now. And whether that be individual supervision or group supervision or a combination of the both. At the moment, I'm only in group supervision and I'm missing the individual supervision. So, you know, for me to operate ethically, for me to be at my best, for me to continue to develop as a coach practitioner, it's essential. It's so valuable. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't operate without it.